Josh.
Corey.
That's a good start. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Fuck. Welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast, where each episode we take a weird real news story and together we twist it into an even weirder film.
We do it live, and we stream it on Facebook so the people at home can join in and make suggestions for the film's title, tagline, casting, soundtrack and story.
And at the end, we make a movie poster for the B-grade masterpiece, We Cook Up.
You can see all the movie posters we've made in the Brown Lit section of our website.
www.thebrowncarpetpod.com.
We also got a sweet-ass merch page on there, so you can pick up a t-shirt, phone case, or throw pillow emblazoned with the BCP logo.
You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher or Spotify, and if you're listening to this, you could be watching all the episodes on our YouTube channel.
Just search for the Brown Carpet Podcast and you can see Corey's pretty little beady face.
Ah. If you've got a suggestion of a weird, funny headline you'd like us to turn into champagne cinema, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or email us at thebrowncarpetpod@gmail.com.
And now, let's get to the show.
Yeah.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted headfirst like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice.
Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as sealed duck.
No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Welcome to episode 38 of the Brown Carpet Podcast. My name's Corey Farrell.
And I'm Josh Groom.
And it's a little bit sad today because this is the last video podcast we'll be doing for a while. We'll still be doing our audio version of our podcast. Oh, we don't know. We don't know yet exactly what.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But what I'm getting at is
Spit it out, mate. Fuck's sake.
our dearly beloved Joshua is moving to New York permanently.
No, I got 3 months. He's trying to send me out of the country, basically. The reality of the fact is that I'm going to New York for 3 months.
Yep.
And the podcast will still be happening. We're going to be doing a regular podcast via the technology that will connect us.
The internet.
Across the globe.
Yep.
The internet will sort us out.
We will soldier on.
Yes.
Speaking of big apples, Joshua, what are your 3 favourite films of all time, of forever, that have been made and set in New York? What are your favourites of those ones?
Wow, that was a really efficiently asked question. And I'm glad you asked it. First and foremost, Ghostbusters.
Oh, classic.
That is my absolute favourite New York film because New York is like a character in that film.
Yeah.
The way they come out and support the Ghostbusters, when they're running through the city.
Yep.
The yellow cabs, right down to Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking down the middle of New York City.
Yep.
That's just a beautiful New York film.
Yep.
Love it top to bottom. Bill Murray.
Is that in the order, 1, 2, 3 in the order?
No particular order, but
Okay.
that is my first one.
Yep.
That's got to be number 1. Number 2 would be Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee's first film.
Great film.
Set in Brooklyn, I believe, during a heat wave, which is kind of,
What's
apt
happening now?
for what's going on in Sydney right now. It is fucking hot.
Kind of
and,
apt with what's going on racially right now.
Yeah, just the tension in that film, like in the middle of the heat wave, this racial tension between the Asians, between the African Americans, and between the whites in this tiny little borough in New York. Spike Lee's performance in it, the music in it, Public Enemy.
Yeah.
That's just an
great.
absolute cracker of a film. And then
last?
finally would be Goodfellas.
Nice.
Martin Scorsese's, still for me, he's my favourite film that he's made. It's
pretty great.
From that opening tracking shot as they walk into the club through the back entrance through the kitchen, that is for me one of the most rewatchable films. If it comes on, it doesn't matter what point the film is at. Ray Liotta's performance, I will just pick it up. He's just the best. Like it's just on fire. Like De Niro.
My favourite is the car scene, like when he pulls up in the driveway and goes over to the neighbour. Ray Liotta pulls up with his wife, and apparently the guy disrespected his wife.
Right.
He walks across the road and just
yeah.
hits the guy. I don't know, it's a hammer or something. Or beats the shit out of the
brutal.
guy. Yeah.
Great
Pistol
film.
whips him. He pistol whips him. Yeah.
My 2. Can I get
Notable
2
mentions?
special mentions?
Yeah.
A Maniac.
I've never seen that film.
It's a really great. Tom Savini did the special effects.
Yeah.
Super brutal about
horror
this,
film, obviously.
Yeah. About a dude stalking women and scalping them. Basically, there's a couple in a car, and the maniac dude jumps on the bonnet of the car with a double-barreled shotgun and shoots the boyfriend through the face, right through the windscreen. It is an amazing shot sequence.
Yeah,
and it was Tom Savini who was the head that exploded in the car.
All right.
And my other special mention would be Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Probably the all-time classic.
It is great.
New York film.
Good choices.
Thanks, mate.
Well, let's dive into we've got a great news story today. It's very super weird.
It's so weird.
Super gross.
And there's some wonderful footage that accompanies this story, actually.
Yeah. Well, basically, there was a news story that came out. I'm sure you've all seen it about a guy got caught on CCTV camera licking a doorbell for 3 hours straight.
3 hours.
3 hours.
That's a lot of licking.
That's a lot of licking. Do you want to read the story, Josh?
He really goes to town. So we'll probably be showing you the footage of the...
You'll be watching it now.
It's pretty graphic, as you can see. It's not... and the dude's got technique. Like, look at him go. He's really getting in there. It's not his first doorbell. So the headline for this story is Prowler spent 3 hours licking doorbell at stranger's home. 3 hours.
Delicious.
A California man was caught on security camera licking a family's doorbell. The suspect, identified as 33-year-old Roberto Arroyo, spent over 3 hours lurking outside Dave and Sylvia Dungan's home in Salinas, where he allegedly licked the family's doorbell, relieved himself in their yard, and stole an extension cord from the Christmas lights display. It seems pretty benign, of all things to be done. Like, he took a shit in the front yard, he licked the doorbell for 3 hours, and then he took an extension cord.
I need an extension cord.
I actually need one of those, so I'll grab that. Arroyo faces possible misdemeanor charges of petty theft, prowling, and violation of probation. The Monterey County District Attorney's Office will review the case to determine whether or not to press charges.
Surely.
Wait, you should really press charges. The Dungans said they became aware of Arroyo when their phone alerted them to the movement on their home security camera, which they installed less than a month ago. That's paid for itself already, hasn't it? They weren't at home at the time of the incident, but said that their children were inside the home sleeping. I thought, boy, there's a lot of traffic, Sylvia Dungan said. I started reviewing the videos and said to myself, well, who the heck is this? Police were able to identify the suspect from the surveillance footage because he has a history of misdemeanor offences, including public intoxication, resisting arrest, and under the influence of narcotics. Kind of goes without saying. We were pleasantly surprised that the image was so clear. It didn't take us long to identify the individual. After licking the Dungan's doorbell, Arroyo reportedly visited another home in the neighbourhood.
Then did it say what he did there?
It doesn't. I'm assuming he licked something.
Surely, they just didn't have footage of it.
Yeah.
Saved by the bell. All right. This is an interesting one. This could go. I mean, it's one of those ones where it's a really super weird news story, and sometimes they're the hardest ones to turn into a film because they're so weird. The story
itself is so weird.
That's right.
I mean, the questions you got to ask is, why is he licking?
We could talk for hours on why he's licking.
Why is he lick for so long?
Yeah.
Like, it's a marathon lick.
It is. I think there's something in that, the duration of the licking.
You think that's important?
I think it's very important.
And
I don't think that's accidental.
No mistake. The thing is that the technique is what disturbs me most about when I see the video. The fact that he's so good at it. Like, he's closing his eyes at the moment. He's really losing himself in the lick.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting lost in the.
How long did you watch? Have you watched it the entire?
I've watched it a few times. They haven't. I don't think they've released the full 3 hours yet. But I'd buy the Blu-ray. I'd watch the full.
Can we do a director's commentary of it?
I'd love to. Yeah. Do you reckon he's into doorbells? Is this a fetish that exists?
No, I don't think he's into doorbells. I think it's a substitution, probably.
A substitution?
Yeah.
So my initial thought for the story was.
Please indulge.
So obviously. He's trying to prove a point.
Yep.
Or else he wouldn't go that long.
No.
Maybe our mate, he's been in a long-term relationship.
Yep.
With a young lady.
Yep.
Deeply in love, maybe a high school sweetheart.
Yep.
And it was a perfect relationship. Everything was right. You know, she enjoyed his sense of humour. They liked the same TV shows. Maybe they liked to watch Marie Kondo's Tidying Up together.
Yep.
They enjoyed Netflix. But there was this one thing that he couldn't do for her.
I think I know where you're going with this, Josh.
He couldn't get her over the top, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was unable to bring her to crescendo.
Yep.
And it was always this one little elephant
lingering,
in the room.
yeah.
That was just gradually getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually she's like, look, if you're unable to do that for me, we don't really have a future.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe she broke it off.
Yep.
And maybe one night, you know, he got on the silly sauce. He had maybe one too many loudmouth soups. Went round to her place. Knew she had this video doorbell.
I like. Is that your term for beer? Loudmouth soup. I love it.
A couple too many of the soups. And he's like, I'm going to show her what I can do. I'm going to show her the technique.
Oh, so he's doing it knowing that it's filmed.
Yeah, knowing
that she's going to see
it's her doorbell, that she will get all
That's
3
a big
hours
gamble.
of footage.
That's a big gamble.
So I don't know. Is that a story? Have we got a... Have we got a seed
Oh,
there?
I mean, it's a story, and we could go down that route. I just, I'm not sure where else. I mean, it's a story, but I think we could. I think we could go another way. We could go deeper.
Obviously, he's a troubled individual.
It's rooted in some sort of childhood trauma. Yeah. Yeah.
Childhood trauma and drugs.
So why should this be any different?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's his story. We decide, like, we ask ourselves whose story it is. Obviously,
It's definitely the story of the liquor.
it's the door licker story.
Yeah.
How does he wind up licking doorbells if it's not like a
That's the question.
if it's not a cunnilingus inferiority complex?
Mm-hmm.
Is it medical? Is it something that it's is it an OCD thing? Whereas
It's a syndrome of sorts.
yeah. So it's something he can't control.
Okay,
It's
like a weird tick.
like a Tourette's. It's
So-
a
so-
form of Tourette's.
But it's not compartmentalized just to doorbells. You're saying he likes to lick
It's
all sorts of things.
it's uncontrollable like Tourette's. So he'll be just talking and then he'll lick someone's elbow
Right.
or if he's writing, he'll lick the paper he's writing on or pen or just like
It's a tough childhood then.
yeah.
So he's got this uncontrollable licking syndrome.
Oh, childhood would have been awful.
ULS. Uncontrollable licking syndrome.
Yeah, ULS.
ULS.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
He suffers in silence. Well, not so much silence. He gets picked on loudly by everyone at school.
bashed.
Yeah, I think he gets picked on pretty bad, and it's sad because it's like much of those things that happen to kids. They never get diagnosed correctly. Mm-hmm. He's just not right. He's just that kid that's not right.
Not right in the head.
He's a window licker.
Yeah.
The term, which is not a nice term to use. It has derogatory connotations, but it fits the bill for this guy.
Okay, so ever since he was young, this kid has the ULS. He can't stop licking
Nah,
whatever's put in front of him.
can't stop, won't stop.
Is there some sort of treatment for ULS? Is there a way around it? Is there some sort of therapy or medication? Or...
I think by the time he gets the medication and it's being diagnosed correctly,
Okay.
it's too late. Damage is done.
Right.
So
he's socially inept.
Well, I mean, yeah, like those things. He hates the bully. His self-confidence is shot to shit.
Oh yeah.
He's not good.
Yep.
So I think the next thing for him is he medicates. He gets on with his life. He actually say in college.
Yep.
He gets medicated enough. He goes to business school, becomes quite successful. Got a normal.
So the medication really reins it in.
Yeah,
He's
reins
able
it
to
in.
lead a normal life.
Yeah, so instead of licking every 30 seconds or every 10 seconds, he might lick once every couple of hours.
Right.
And people would
maybe he's got
know.
a little salt lick that he's got in his briefcase.
Yeah.
And just like he'll take his briefcase, walk to the bathroom, just sit there and frantically lick his salt lick for 20 minutes. Get all those urges out.
Yeah. I like the idea that it's something sour or something, so it's like trying to trigger the brain that it's bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bad connotations.
Yeah. Does the bully come back into his life, or does he go off his? That's the next. What happens next? There's a fork in the road. I think his life is going along normally and well. Mm-hmm. Fine, but not exceptional.
So we've followed this kid from school.
Yep.
We've seen him struggle with the licking syndrome.
Yep.
And then we see him. I guess the end of that school chapter will probably be diagnosis and medication.
Yes.
Then we jump forward.
Yep.
His life is good. I mean, he's still got a problem. He's still going to the bathrooms with his salt lick, 3 or 4 times a day.
But he functions.
On the surface, he looks like a functional human. He's got a job.
He's got it together.
He's putting together some semblance of a life.
Yep.
Maybe there's a relationship starting to happen.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's got a superpower in some senses.
Exactly.
Like,
so this could be
a very lucky girl.
It's a selling point for him.
Yep. Wow, can you imagine what he'd do?
Yeah.
Like to a bean. He would go to town. That girl, I would not. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So she'd be a very lucky girl.
Yeah.
So let's say his life is starting to look great.
Yep.
All things pointing north.
Yep.
At the company he works for, a new CEO is hired.
New boss. Yeah.
And it's the bully from high school.
Oh shit!
It's the kid that
nice
used
twist.
to
Nice
put
twist.
his head in the dunny. Hey, Licky boy. Like,
who is he? Cast him.
We need someone
muscly, brawny.
like a Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Like a big
Channing Tatum.
And Channing Tatum, but with a gut.
And a goatee.
Gut and a goatee. Yeah. Who's playing our liquor?
I was thinking, looking at the guy, when you see the CCTV footage, he kind of looks, I don't know, he's got a bit of a beard thing. I think it looked a bit Adam Goldberg to me.
Oh yeah, could be an Adam Goldberg.
Adam Goldberg,
for sure.
but I mean, I'm open to suggestion.
Bit beardy, bit dishevelled.
Yep.
That's and you probably tidy up nicely. You look like a decent businessman.
Yeah.
So when Channing Tatum walks in,
yep,
like instantly flashbacks begin.
Yeah.
And I imagine Channing would he probably doesn't even remember him.
Yeah.
Like, he probably bullied a lot of kids back in high school.
Yeah.
But for him, that was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
So all the flashbacks start coming back.
And
Suddenly his urge to lick.
it's more infuriating that he doesn't remember him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't even acknowledge his existence.
Yeah, you ruled my life.
It's not. He doesn't. This hasn't come in to make fun of him.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh hey, it pays him no mind. He's just an underling.
Yep.
That's great.
One of those really punishingly strong handshakes.
That's a really good twist. I like this. Yeah.
So Channing's come back into his life. All the flashbacks are started. The urges are starting to bubble back up.
So it sets his tick off.
Yeah. So the
Sets his
licking
lick
comes
tick.
back in. The lick tick is
The
back.
lick tick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The salt lick is down to a nub within like a day or two. He's licking the edge of his
His
pants.
girlfriend is raw.
His girlfriend.
She's had enough.
She's got a permanent limp.
Yeah.
She leaves him because she just can't deal with the amount of
It's actually affected his speech too because his tongue is so fucking sore now.
Yeah.
You know, like he can't.
Yeah. She wakes up in the middle of the night and he's on like a big toe. There's no nail varnish left. He's just working his way around. So she leaves him.
Yeah.
His life starts to fall apart. Maybe he's going to lose the job.
Yeah.
Because you can't be there licking the water cooler in the middle of the day.
Like something big happens at work and he licks something that he shouldn't.
Okay.
And he gets fired horribly.
Yep.
Loses everything.
Yep.
He's sleeping in New York Library.
Okay.
We're in New York, aren't we? Why
Sure.
not? I feel like we should keep it New York.
Let's put it in New York.
Picks up the Guinness Book of Records book.
Oh, okay.
And he sees licking. There's a category. Licking inanimate objects.
Like prolonged licking of inanimate objects.
Exactly that.
Sure. Right.
2.5 hours. World record. He said he literally does that in his sleep.
2.5 hours?
He literally does it in his sleep.
Yeah. I call
He's
that
like,
breakfast.
He's like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is my new purpose.
Okay, he's got a goal.
He's got a goal, but you need someone. It needs to be verified, right? It needs to be filmed.
Yes. Yep.
So
There's got to be a record. Documentation.
perfect.
Yep.
So he's got his boss. He lives. Imagine his boss lives in a McMansion,
Of course.
gated house.
Yep. All the gadgets.
All the cameras.
Yep.
You know,
Security
you see where I'm
camera,
going here,
obviously.
don't you?
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. He creeps out of the New York Library.
Like looking like a vagrant.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue ready.
Maybe he's kind of like held off the licking that day, so he's kind of like got himself
Oh,
right on the verge.
he's building up a lick. He's building up his licks.
Building up a big lick, so he's ready for a marathon sesh.
Yeah.
He knows 2.5 hours is the goal.
Yeah.
He knows it's got to be on camera, start to finish.
That's why he looks at the camera.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, that bit of eye contact. You see this? See what I'm doing?
and he sets to work. He licks that door. He licks that doorbell. And the amazing thing is, he licks that doorbell and without it ringing.
It's a gentle lick.
It's a really
It's a
gentle.
gentle, just a flirtation, a tickle,
Yeah.
but never a depression.
What's the music that plays during that?
Oh, like Flight of the Bumblebee, like a classical piece, like a really dainty. He does the licking for 3 hours. Is he arrested at the end of this? Because he has broken the record, but he's also broken several laws.
Well, he's broken several laws, so he didn't really think it through.
Does he also take a shit on the guy's front lawn? Are we going to bring that piece of the story in?
Was it a piss or a shit?
Or he relieved himself?
We're going to say it's a shit.
I think it's a shit.
Of course, because he hates his boss, right? He's going to shit on his way out. But yeah, what happens after that? What's the fallout? Is he either celebrated or is he? What sort of celebration does someone receive? Have you ever read the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah.
There's some stupid things in there.
Ridiculous. Most walnuts broken with a forehead.
Yeah, right.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
Guy smashes his head on walnuts for like.
exactly.
It's one of those few situations where you can be a winner and a loser at the same time. There's a few places in the world where weirdness is celebrated. One of them obviously being Japan. So perhaps in Japan, there's a new TV show that's just come out and they're embracing the weirder aspects of the Guinness Book of Records.
Japan would have a whole show around this one thing.
They probably have a network around marathon licking.
So he becomes like a Bill Murray in Lost in Translation, like he's a celebrity.
First of all, he's going to jail for a little bit. It's probably not a long stay. I mean, all he did was lick a doorbell and shit on a
No,
lawn.
it's a but
90 days.
90 days, yeah.
But internet fame and an invitation to Japan to kind of come on the show.
And we have one of those really cool like viral montages where you see the YouTube hits go up and the crowd's going crazy in Japan, the airport, like builds up like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe Japan suddenly brings on like, a handful of these weird fucking niche record holders from around the globe.
Yeah.
And each episode they kind of showcase what they can do
Does he just like, because you know Japan have those programs where they're just like filming a cat.
Yep.
It's just a cat walking around.
Is that a program?
Yeah, there's a thing. I don't know what the show is about at all. I can't speak Japanese, but his fame is like licking electronics. Like he'll lick.
Sure.
And everyone loves him for it.
Yeah,
he's
it's
a
his
big time
thing.
celebrity.
Yep. T-shirts with his face on it, just tongue stuck in something.
Yeah.
He's got so he begins this like second life.
Yeah.
Over in Japan.
Yeah.
Where his social awkwardness is not a problem because
No.
there's a language barrier anyway.
Yeah.
People just want to see him do his thing.
He's huge. He's the biggest celebrity in Japan.
But how do we end this story? Like, what's the finale, the crescendo moment for our hero, Larry the Licker?
Well, and you want to tie in the Channing Tatum bully.
I think because we've had
finalize that story.
Yeah, we've had Channing in the first chapter when he was at school. We've had him in the second chapter when he came to his work and ruined that.
Yep.
And now in this final chapter when he's in Japan, he's become a bit of a celebrity. Like, how do we?
Well, Channing Tatum marries and has a child with his ex, which seemingly is a bad thing.
Sure.
But Channing Tatum is now a fanboy.
He's seen the show on TV.
He's seen the show.
Yep.
He's gone from not caring who he was and then firing him to like, time's passed. He's kind of attracted to these celebrity. He brings the family over and it's like after the show, it's like an autograph session.
Oh, they all come over to Japan to be in the studio audience?
He signs the kid's tongue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that'd be part of his merch, wouldn't it? You could buy like a tongue, signed.
You know,
tongue.
one of those toys that those like things like frog tongue things. He's got like those things.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
T-shirts and everything. So he sees the whole family coming up.
Got tongue? ? Merch.
Yeah. He signs the kids' merch.
Yeah.
The wife's a little bit standoffish and awkward. And then it comes Channing Tatum with his powerful handshake.
Yeah. And he goes in for the handshake. And does he just grab his hand and just licks it?
Yeah, he just gives him one
like
long big
eye contact the whole
right.
the whole time.
And rather than back away, Channing kind of enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's kind of this moment of like victory for him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's that thing where someone shakes your hand and does it. He fucking arm wrestles him.
Yeah. It's like
with
the
tongue.
Trump handshake, but with his tongue. What was your title that you had?
Tongue ring.
Tongue ring.
Yeah, but
okay.
No, but I think you had a better title. What was one?
Knock and tongue.
Knock and tongue is a great
Knock and
title.
tongue?
Yep.
Tagline.
The film that has all the tongues wagging.
We got Adam Goldberg playing Larry the Licker.
Larry the Licker.
Channing Tatum is the bully.
Yep.
Who's going to play the love interest? Like the girlfriend who...
I think Marisa Tomei would be perfect.
Marisa Tomei would be perfect. Yeah, let's get her in.
Yep.
She's sweet enough. She's got a bit of an edge to her.
We got a film.
We got a film.
Got a film. Knock and tongue.
This film will set tongues a wagon.
Bang.
There you go.
There's your film.
Yeah.
So until next time, don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted pimples like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fu.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Round Carpet Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2.
It's so Wayne's World.
We're live. Fucking hell.
New York.
Did I just say New York?
I'm glad we're not live. God, I suck, man. Ah, so, Josh, you... Come on.
Done this 38 times, mate.
Hang on. So,
Imagine Damo was naked.
Do you need me to be naked?
Can you take your clothes off for us? Just one nut. Pop a nut out.
what are your favourite films that have been...
Fuck. I thought this would be easy.
Oh, God, I'm freezing up.
Interesting question, Corey.
Interestingly phrased as well. Speaking of Big Apple...
Can't even say apple.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Hey, no,